Hello everyone, it is Rosalind again here today. We are going to do a hair tutorial today. My hair is so fluffy right now. I showered last night and I put it in a braid and then woke up, took the braid out, and this is what I'm left with. My hair's not all natural. I have tape-in extensions in because my natural hair is very thin and not that appealing. I tried every extension that you can even think of, and tapes are actually my favorite. Right now, what I'm going to do is show you guys how I style my hair. The way that I style my hair can actually stay pretty good without showering for about 3 days. And usually I have very oily hair, so the thing that I do most to get rid of that is after I get out of the shower, I use mousse. And you would think, does mousse really make that much of a difference? It makes such a world of difference with my hair. My hair, literally, if I do not put mousse in my hair, I have to wash my hair every single day. And when you have tape-in extensions, washing your hair every day is not good for them, and it's just not feasible. So I make sure that I put mousse in. And the mousse that I use is this Big Sexy Hair. And I love this stuff. It honestly gives me volume and it makes everything, you know, stay in place. It makes the styling easier. It's great. When you have any sort of extensions actually in your hair, and if they're a permanent extension, you want to make sure that you add some oil to your hair, because extensions don't actually produce any sort of oil like your natural hair does. So I prep it with this Moroccan oil. I don't go too crazy with it. I will take a pump and a half for, you know, this long frizzy crazy mane, and I just rub it in between my hands here, and I just do it actually on the bottoms. I don't do this on the roots of my hair, because the roots of my hair is my natural hair and it already gets oils, right? So you don't have to add all of that extra to your actual natural hair. So I make sure that it's all in there, and I'll comb it just to make sure that it's dispersed evenly. Okay. So now what I do is I make sure that I put a heat protectant on it. I don't use a super expensive heat protectant. I just use this Tresemme Thermal Creations heat spray. We're gonna hope that we have enough. So I spray this all through my hair. Mostly I concentrate a lot of it actually on the ends, because like I said before, you don't have any natural oils in extensions. You're absolutely soaked pretty much in heat protectant. And I'm not saying that you have to soak your hair. I do, because honestly I find that the heat protectant dries so quickly anyway, so as soon as you start working through your hair, it feels a little bit damp, but I find that goes away really quickly, and I don't start doing my hair right away, so it's not like I'm putting hot tools on damp hair. So you want to be careful doing putting hot tools on really damp hair, because you'll get that sizzling, smoky freaking sound that scares the shit out of you, and you're like, oh my god, my hair's burning off. Yeah, you just want to wait until it dries a little bit. The dry shampoo that I use right now is this stuff right here. You can actually get it at Shoppers now. This stuff does give a white cast. So if you're somebody who does not like having white cast in your hair, I would not use this. I don't mind having it because I rub it out anyways, and my hair is pretty light at the moment with my ombre, so I don't mind putting it on, working it in. I use the dry shampoo after my hair is freshly washed to also try to eliminate any oils that are going to build up later. So I shake it really well and I concentrate a lot of it on my roots. See, I don't know if you can really see if the camera picks it up, but there is quite a bit of white in there. So then I will blow it through. And the crown of my head is pretty oily. That's probably where I get most of my oil. So I concentrate a lot of it there as well. And I'm gonna move this. I use this Bellamy wand. It is 25 millimeters and it doesn't have any heat settings, which does kind of suck. But when I got my Bellamy hair extensions, it came in as like some sort of prize or whatever, so I can't really complain. But it just has a on and off button. I usually always barrel curl my hair, and I barrel curl it because it stays the longest. And I can literally barrel curl my hair and it'll stay curled for like 3 days. And I just have to do some touch-ups from wherever I sleep on it. So what I'm doing right now is just parting my hair, and take my clip and I'm going to put it in here and hope that it stays. So what I'm going to do is take the ends, or sorry, the hair from the back of my neck, and I'm going to move it forward. So I actually take my sections to be about this thick, which isn't like a large amount, but I mean it's enough. So, and when I do my barrel curls, I take my wand and I place it behind my head when I'm doing the back of my head pieces, because it actually makes it fall more flattering. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to wrap the hair around the barrel and just wait about 10 seconds. I usually don't even really need to count anymore. What I do is I can feel with my finger how hot the hair is getting, and if it's getting too hot, then I let it go. So here is my first curl. And I just move that to the side and keep working on the pieces from the back to the front. So again, here is my second piece, wrapping it around my barrel, making sure that I don't touch my hand on the barrel because it is so hot, it'll burn you in a second. So if you're somebody who doesn't do this often or doesn't use wands, I would recommend using the little glove that usually comes with them until you get used to it. But I've been doing this for years, so when I do burn myself, I'm like, whatever, like, you deserved it. So I'm wrapping again and waiting. So what I will do is I will just do this little bit of my hair and come back to you when I'm all done. So, and now I'm going to move on to my second layer. Just go around my temple is where I do my second layer, and I just part this right here and do the same twist. So here we are, and we are going to start working on this layer. Now we are going to start working on the top layer. And that's pretty attractive. So when you are doing your top layer, one of the most important things I think whenever you have extensions in and you're trying to do curls is to make sure that when you are curling your extensions that you are, with every piece that you curl, that you actually are including your natural hairs as well as your extensions. So instead of just curling my natural hair like this and doing this piece, what I will do is make sure that I include this piece plus this long piece, which is an extension. So that way when it's curled, it looks as natural as possible and people can't tell that you're actually wearing extensions. When I do my back of my head, or closer to the back of my head when I'm at the top, I always will go forward. So instead of making my hair go backwards like I have been doing, I'm now going to go forwards because it gives it a more full look. So I take my wand, again, I'm going to go forward. I have my natural hair and extensions in this piece, and I'm going to move it over a little bit so you can see it and roll it out a little bit just to make sure that I don't get that extension. And you can see underneath here that there is my extension. So because I went forward, it is actually hiding that weft. And if I went backwards, it would be exposing the weft. So just a little trick to keep in mind. Closer to my face, now I'm going to start going backwards and making the hair go away from my face. As you can see, I went a little bit too close to that weft, so I'm just going to rearrange it, and you can see it, but once I let it go, it positions itself and you cannot see it any longer. Do my bangs, I actually don't do it with my wand. I do it with a straightener, and I do it with a straightener so that way I can just have a nice like wave in my hair without the like really tight curl. So I'll show you that whenever we get to that part. So now that I am working on the back of my head, one of the things that I can tell you is when you start curling the back of your hair, you want to kind of work it straight out. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, trying to do it like straight out, because if you bring it to the side, it's going to lay to the side, and you want your hair to lay as naturally as possible. In the back of your head, it doesn't just come forward. So I'm going to take this and we'll go around. Okay, so now that I went ahead and did the back of my head, I'm going to do the hair in front of my face. I get my straightener, and this is a straightener that I got a few months ago. It's Avianti. It's great. Like it's not as good as I thought it was. As good as I thought it was going to be. My sister has one from the same brand, and I went to her house and I absolutely loved that straightener. But this one isn't the same, and she said that she got hers years ago, so I don't know if they just changed it or whatnot. this goes up to 230 Celsius. I don't put it that hot. I'm only going to go up to about 190. What I do is I take my bangs, and only lately I've been actually very accustomed to putting my hair in a straight part. So I will just make sure that my part is clean, and this is what I'm left with. Okay, so I'm going to take my bangs and work with maybe this side first. So as you can see, this part is actually the only part that is not curled or done or touched, because I do it in such a way that it does fit with the rest of the hairstyle, and it does curl into it, so I don't need a bigger section. So I'm just going to take my tool, my straightener, and I'm going to go from behind here, grab onto it, and as I place it down, I'm going to move it in a very fluid motion. I try not to pause at all, because if you pause, you're going to get that kink in your hair that everybody hates having. So try to do it in a fluid motion. If it does not work the first time, don't stop in the middle of it, just do it again the second time. So I'm going to take the bang that hasn't been touched and straighten it out a little bit. Take my tool and in a fluid motion, twist, and there it goes. And I'll just like add it into the rest of my hair. There you go. So I don't like leaving my curls this tight. So what I do at this point is I take a wide tooth comb, and you can have any wide tooth comb as long as it is pretty separated, and I just tend to brush it out. At this point your hair should be cold and set, so I take it and I just kind of brush through my curls a little bit, and it makes them a little bit bigger. Another thing that you can do if you like big hair is actually take your comb and move it up. And if you see here, I can just, and it just makes it a little thicker looking. You can tell it is a little bit unkempt looking, and that is totally okay. I like it like that, so that way at the end of the day, whenever my curls are just all over the place and they're a little bit more fluffy, it looks like I meant to do it on purpose. So I don't mind that at all. I'm going to show you really quick the back of it.